Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Edinburgh TV Festival Alternative Mactaggart, which I am delighted to be hosting with somebody whom I admire and respect profoundly, Jameela Jamil. You'll know Jameela from her work as a TV presenter, as a BBC One presenter in the UK, as a model, as a writer, a journalist, and somebody who has transitioned so successfully to the US with her role in The Good Place, and as well as the really important activism that she has been doing in the UK and her work around inclusion, diversity, and body image. Jameela, it's such a joy to be with you here today.
Thank you so much. I'm a massive fan of yours and a fan of the Mactaggart in general, including the Alternative Mactaggart. So I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Well, me too. And I don't want to fangirl, but it is really cool to finally have a space to have this conversation, because we've been having various solidarity exchanges on social media in response to the trolling of certain powerful white men on very mainstream platforms.
I have no idea who you mean.
Yeah,
I can't think.
I want to start though by saying that I feel as if this year there is this synergy between the Mactaggart and the Alternative Mactaggart, because David Olusoga was in the Mactaggart Lecture in his incredibly erudite and articulate way, talking very personally about his experience of the toxicity of media culture in the UK as a black man, as someone who grew up in the North, who has working class origins, and how that drove him to depression and poor mental health over years. And for somebody as successful and prominent as him to be so honest and authentic about his experience in the British media, I think for many people has been a sobering wake-up call as to just how deep this culture goes. And I feel that's been a big part of your story as well, this having to navigate a media which gives you opportunity while also simultaneously trying to attack you. So how do you feel that's really shaped your career so far, that duality of being given opportunity, almost feeling like you should be grateful for it because so many people would love those opportunities, but also not wanting to deny or be complicit in the incredibly negative culture that some of these platforms can promote?
That's a big question. I think first things first, it is important just to acknowledge my massive amount of privilege in being able to engage in this industry and to be able to do the things I do, to meet the people I meet. And as an activist, the range it has given me to be able to make actual systemic change, I don't know if it would be possible, because the way that our society works is that we punish the marginalized for their own marginalization, and we are more likely to listen to the privileged talk about the marginalized. So I couldn't do what I do without this industry. And I've had tremendous luck in this industry and nowhere near as bad a time as some people, but I have definitely suffered within this industry, and I've been held back at times within this industry, but mostly it is the culture of what we put out into the world that I feel very passionate about undoing, and, you know, just unveiling the secrets of this industry and all of the lies that can really hurt young people in particular who are so emotionally impacted because, you know, television and media bleeds into culture and culture bleeds into our society. And I don't feel as though we've been responsible enough until truly maybe just this year we're starting to really be accountable for all of our decisions, be that, you know, the false advertising or erasure of different ethnic minorities or different people within the LGBTQ spectrum. So I'm trying, because I love television and I love media, and some of my loneliest and lowest and saddest moments as a kid were soothed by art and media and culture. And so because I know the potential of what we can do right, I am determined to spend the rest of my time in this industry getting rid of what we're doing heinously wrong.
I remember when you popped up for the first time on our screens on T4. I'm older than you, but I was still watching T4 when you first appeared. And I remember feeling what a breath of fresh air, because you did bring a different energy. You looked different as a South Asian woman. You were sassy, you were funny, which women in British media are so rarely allowed to be. But at the same time, and now this is something I relate to, you're part of this world that is perpetuating this culture of celebrity, of a certain idea of beauty. It makes me think of that classic dilemma of whether we try and achieve change from the outside or whether we can be useful forces creating change from within. And I suppose the fact that we're sitting here as two women who work in TV, we've both chosen the same path, and we've decided to work within the industry to change it. But is that something that you've struggled with? And do you still believe that being on the inside is a powerful position from which to actually create change?
I really, really do. You know, I think a lot of people think that I picked up activism like a hobby in 2018 when it was trendy, because they think I am Tahani Al-Jamil from The Good Place in real life, and that The Good Place is a fucking documentary. I've been an activist since I was 19 years old.
That's a testament to your acting, surely.
But also, I guess it's also partially down to media portrayal. You know, I was given a character as soon as I stepped into UK media. We do that in particular with women. We just decide who they are, and then we kind of just like market them that way. And so, you know, I was replacing an it girl, and therefore they were like, great, you'll be an it girl. And so I was 22 and I didn't know what I was doing, and I really didn't want to get fired. And I was, you know, making more money than I've ever had before. And I was able to support my family, and I had access to all these people that I could, you know, help bring into my activism. And so I played the part. So I think that's definitely part of it, but also, I don't know. We just tend to mischaracterize women very easily. However, my point being that I started as an activist, especially regarding eating disorders, at 19 years old. I've been doing this for 15 years. And I can say that I've been a fat activist who is a fat woman fighting the system, and been told I was bitter and jealous and been laughed at and mocked. And yet when I've said the exact same things that I've been saying for 15 years, I'm on tape saying these things since I was 19 years old. They act like not only have I never said these things before, but no one ever has. They managed to erase like the entire fat positivity movement and make me the face of it, because our media would rather still put a thin woman on the cover of the magazines talking about these issues that aren't actually impacting her right now. So I walk a fine line of trying to make sure that I'm utilizing my platform to only bring awareness to subjects that aren't otherwise being spoken about in an otherwise quite vacuous industry. But also I'm trying not to take up too much space, because my voice becomes the loudest. It is the most amplified because of my privilege. So it is tricky, but I personally stand by my decision to utilize my platform the way that I have.